Okay, folks. Okay, so have a glance back at it as we move along. Now, we're actually moving up a small slope here, and we're going to be walking almost up in the tube itself, so do mind your heads on the right hand side, okay? It comes out that way. Keep to the left, and we're actually crossing a bridge, okay? Now, I'll try and talk over because it isn't too bad. Now, this is all calcite, and this is what we call a frozen waterfall. Okay? But as you can see, there's quite a large stream of water. Quite a large stream coming in from the top. Now, believe it or not, that was a small waterfall yesterday. I couldn't see a thing here yesterday, just kept straight on walking. It was so loud. And in the winter time, you get a huge waterfall coming in there. The width of that calcite you can see, okay? Because this is all formed, of course, by the waterfall when it's in full flow. So that's almost a mirror image of what it looks like in the winter time. But also along the roof there, just above that stream of water, you'll see some straw stalactites. Some people call these macaroni. Straight macaroni. The thing is that these straws are just like normal drinking straws. As you can see, they're very fine, but they're also hollow. And because of that, they are very, very fragile. Very brittle. They often break off simply under their own weight. They can't support themselves any longer. So they never do get very long. Now saying that, they're still the fastest growing formations in the whole cave. They grow around 1 centimetre every 100 years or so. The problem goes in with that before dinner time anyway. Okay. Now, we're going to move along the passageway now, and do please mind your... And these actually formed from the tiny straws you can see along the roof. Because, as I told you, the straws are hollow, but if they get blocked in the centre, the water can sometimes find its way down around the outside of the straw, and calcite is left on the outside. That's when they'll grow into large stalactites like these ones. Okay? And these are very solid, quite hard. Okay? Now, stalactite is actually a Greek word. Stalag means pins, so stalactite is hanging pins. Or someone told me yesterday, an easy way to remember it is tights come down. Okay? Now, if you look closely, you'll see water is actually dropping off the end. And that shows that calcite is still being deposited. Now, when the water falls off the end, it will fall to the floor. And more calcite is then left on the bottom. And that's how stalagmites are formed. Okay? So you see a group of stalagmites here. And again, stalagmite is another Greek word, and it means rising pins. Okay? So, as you can see, the stalactites are going down, and the stalagmites are rising up from the floor. And they will eventually meet, about halfway, and when they do, they'll form what's called a column or a pillar. But it's not going to be today or tomorrow. They only grow around 1 centimetre every 150 years or so. Okay? Now, fortunately, we do have a smaller example of a column, just a little further in.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's quite nice formation. Now, you have to remember that any of the formations you see in this cave are relatively young, well, are very young actually, in geological terms. They're all less than 10,000 years old, because they couldn't begin to form until the river had dried up. Okay? Now, this is our best example of a stalagmite. If you compare it to the other ones down here, you see that it's much better, well, it's more defined. Okay? And that's actually because it's only been fed by one straw on the very top. If you look very closely, you can see that there.
Yeah.
See the tiny straw? Yeah. It's barely even 1 centimetre long. Now that straw is what has fed the stalagmite during the entire time. Okay? And sorry.
How come this one didn't meet? Because it wouldn't get blocked in the middle, I suppose. Or
the straw isn't blocked. You'll actually see that it does still drop water onto the stalagmite. It is still hollow. And it probably was a lot longer. Okay, it probably was, maybe even almost joining the stalagmite, but as I told you, it's brittle. So,
Right.
the smallest little thing and it'll just fall off. Now, when you go around that turn, the first thing you're going to find is a 6-metre sheer drop. Okay? And that's what delays the cave from flooding unless it's very heavy rain. Because the water beyond that has to build up above that level before it can flood into this cavern here. Okay? But it does flood. When it does, the water will come up from the back. It will flow right up along this stream here. Now you see pockets of water from the rain yesterday. Over past the waterfall to the flagged steps and walk down. And it will actually flood this entire cavern up to that level just there.
Oh my God.
That's the water mark. Okay? So, if the cave was flooded, you'd know about a straight line, but of course the mountain has been rising above your heads, which means that at this moment there's around 120 metres of nearly solid rock straight up there. Now that's around 360 foot of limestone above your head.
Okay, I want to get out now.
Yeah? How's that feel? Okay? Now, the important thing is anyway, not to worry about it all falling in on top of you today. Okay? Ailwee Cave is over 1 million years old and is possibly closer to 2 million years. And it's remained standing this long, so you're probably safe enough. Okay? Now,